Hello everyone, it is Shell being in action, and today we're speaking about a surgery that I have upcoming in just a few days here. I, as a herbalist, am going to be working on the scarring, inflammation, bruising, and pain as naturally as I can. Now, I early on in this video give the disclaimer that I am not a doctor, nor am I giving medical advice, nor professional advice. I am simply stating what is being done for my life and is working for me. So now, on that note, I would like to explain what I'm about to do to prepare before this surgery, and if you'd like to follow along the journey, then you will get to see the post as well. So make sure you like and subscribe for more videos like this and anything relating to herbalism. So today, since we're going to be talking about quite a bit, maybe we get a cup of tea. Get whatever tea you are called to, but let's take the pause to make one. And today, behind me on my apothecary, I am going to make what I am called to for just a little bit of a strengthening and activating tea before surgery. What's called to me is going to be a little bit of a spicy osha for the upper respiratory. Gonna go for just a little bit of that guy. Got a little bit of hyssop here. It's gonna taste a little bit like licorice, kind of. Maybe like you've had some of this in a flavorful tea where you thought it was licorice. You'd be surprised. It's a anise or a hyssop. And then in this guy, we have a organic white pine. Feeling called to some of that for the vitamin C. And we're going to do some cinnamon bark. Why not? Get some spice in there, a little bit of joint strengthening from the mucilage that's forming. And since I'm about to have a surgery on my ankle, I feel like this is going to be a good contributor. So I'm actually making a tincture that I have to strain out. It will, in the end, be a combination of multiple different herbs, which I will explain in the post-op videos. So keep tuned for that. But today, to make our tea, we're just going to add to our steeper some cinnamon, and again, use whatever you want. The whole point of this is what I am called to, and what I'm called to do may not necessarily be what you are called to do in this moment. So for me, this is just kind of not really for a surgery prep. This one's more of just like, let's just have a nice cup of tea. Let's make it spicy. But why not? Because these are herbs that don't have a contraindication. So I'm okay with at least these. So we're going to add our osha. Want to make sure that I don't have any kind of respiratory situation going on when we go in for the operation in just a few days. This will be a very nice spicy tea here. And that will do it. That's all of our ingredients today. Get this brewing while we get to talking. And thanks for staying tuned. Of course that would happen. And we're good. Okay, so what all am I going to do? What's happening? Let's discuss it. On my ankle, I have shown up with a large ganglion cyst. And that is not just speculation, that's now been proven through specialists as well as an MRI and an X-ray and a plethora of appointments, and also a extraction where they tried to syringe out stuff out of my ankle to get a biopsy. And when nothing came out, including no blood, that had to show it wasn't a blood clot. So although the imaging had been inconclusive exactly, they just knew there was a lump. After that point, now they're fairly certain again it's a ganglion cyst. So I'm going into the surgery in a few days to get this cyst on my ankle taken out. That surgery in itself, not the biggest one, but it would just so happen that I also have a chronically frayed and shredded peroneal tendon and the ligament on the top of my foot. So what all that means is the wrapping tendon on my foot has been shredded, and no exact idea how that happened, but it seems to be from an accident. However, it has happened. I have lived on it, and it may have been from a while ago, like when I was 17 and broke my ankle and lived all these years, and then I just ignored the pain and I lived with it, and then my body had to manifest this ganglion cyst or whatever is this lump so that I would seek out help. I, as a naturalist and an herbalist, I tend to not seek out enough help. So please, with this disclaimer, I tell you, seek out your help and always go for a professional. Ask a doctor. I've been in direct communication with my surgeon as well as my specialist doctor about the fact that I do have these herbs, which are the ones that I can have before and then after surgery, and the timing. And so do that if you find yourself in a situation where you're going to face maybe not the exact same situation as me, but you're going to face a situation and it's going to involve a procedure or a medication. Definitely talk with your doctor about herbs. And they may not know the specific herbs, so get as much information underlying as you can about that. Go into your public medical databases where you can access this information for free. One of those being PubMed. Check that website out. There's a plethora. We live in 2023 where the internet at some areas is even free. You can access a lot of information and get what you can underlying to be in communication with your doctors, okay? So I've done that with myself, and we're going in for the surgery to repair my tendons as well as cut out this mass that's most likely a ganglion cyst, because they tried to extract it and my body likes to hold on to its body. I'm one of those individuals that even when you'll prick me for blood, you can have the best nurse or phlebotomist, and I still sometimes just my blood doesn't come out of me. I actually this last time almost fainted giving a vial so that I could prove I was healthy for the pre-op, because I so controlled my mind and body is one. When you have a mind-body connection, you can do funny things with your body. So I happened to have mind over mattered it and gave enough blood, and we're proven to the point that I'm good for surgery. So you'll have to go through all of that too. Long story short is I know I'm going to have a scar. It's going to be a bad scar, and I've been talked to about it, and the way the doctor put it to me is plan your next tattoo. But I am posting all of this because I have so much confidence in my ability to make it a minimal for the situation scar, as well as a minimal for the situation inflammation situation, as well as a minimal for the situation pain. And there will be a need for some antibiotic. There will be a need for some actual prescribed anti-inflammatory as well as some pain medication. But the question is, at what point can I transfer it over back to herbalism and work with the both side, the Eastern and the Western medicine together? And so I'm doing that. I'm doing all of this on myself. I, again, don't claim to do this to anyone else, and I'm only speaking on what has worked for myself. It's just information for the world. So today is my last day of kind of living my life. Tomorrow morning I have my last appointment in the morning for one last check off box, and then the next day I go into surgery. Intentions are this video will be up and live by the point I've had surgery. So the next one that you see is going to be after the fact. I intend to be on my pharmaceuticals, so to speak, for the first week at least. I have 2 weeks of certain ones prescribed. I may take the full 2 weeks, but I will see what my body is telling me, and I tell you to do what your body is telling you. Now, our tea's been brewing all this time. I would suggest that you would brew yours for 10 to 15 minutes because that is what makes it medicinal if you are going for a medicinal herb. Just a little bit under that time, and you'll still have a nice tasting tea. You just don't get as much secondary metabolites. Those secondary metabolites are what we're consuming a plant as a medicine for. Those secondary metabolites are actually the plant's defense system against the world. When a bug eats a plant, it has to defend itself. Or when the rainstorms or the sun or whatever be that damaging the plant has to react and defend itself, and it can't get up with its legs like us humans can. It can't move, so it has to make a new chemical, and that new chemical just would so happen is what we are consuming a plant for. So when we brew a tea long enough and we have gathered a fresh is most recently as you can have harvested local sustainably sourced herb, you're going to get more of those secondary metabolites. And when you brew a tea long enough, you get all of those medicinal constituents pulled out. So what is in your cup? I hope that you can see a situation where you might be faced, where I'm sure it's completely different than mine, but where you're thinking about where you could incorporate potentially herbalism or any form of natural modality to work alongside with your situation. And again, seek out help from your professionals. Be in communication. What I am about to do has required a lot of blood work, I had an EKG, I had to prove my heart, my health, my everything to show that I am healthy. And so I am a healthy individual going through this. If you are someone watching this where you might not have all of those boxes checked with your practitioner, then potentially be extra cautious and speak to your doctor about maybe a different herb that has less of a chance. Now, again, all of these herbs I've mentioned are just for me, for my tea. Has not to do with what I'm about to do. Keep posted for that, because what I will be doing is for the scar that I have, that I hear could be up to about 6 inches. It's going to go up my leg as they cut out the ganglion cyst, and the arm is going to go, basically it has been going up my leg and around my foot, down around my ankle, up to the top of the foot. So it's going to be a pretty big scar as far as length goes, but again, I will be using herbs to work on the scarring factor. I have internal herbs that I will be taking. I have external herbs. I won't be able to put the external herbs on for a while, so that's why we're going to start with the internal. I won't be able to even get it wet for the first 2 weeks. I won't be able to walk for 6 weeks at a minimum with any pressure on my foot, and they said I won't be driving my car for 2 months. So this is not going to be the most easiest, simplest surgery. I have my mother, so blessed to have come help me with this situation. She won't be here the entire 2 months, so I again am showing others if I can get by with what I have, then you as well hopefully can be inspired to do this. Again, behind me, I have my apothecary. What I have in mine will be completely different of what you have in yours. But mine has my teas, my supplements, my tinctures. I've got some salves. I've got up here my juicer, and that's only because of a lack of space. I'm living in a micro studio, which will be a blessing and a curse for this alone time in the surgery. Everything's just at a hand's length kind of, but at the same time everything has to be in its place. Everything has a place and it's in its place, and it must be that way or there's no space to even move my scooter that I'm about to be on. So keep tuned, and we will move forward to see how the scarring, bruising, pain, inflammation, all of that goes. Thanks for watching. Again, subscribe, like, and follow for more. Have a great day.